I'm just messing with you guys. Good morning, Silver Dollar City. You guys having a good day so far? All right, that's what I like to hear. Well, you've heard from all of our performers about their dreams and their passions.
Yeah.
But if I were honest with you, I'd tell you there were many times where I wanted to give up on my dreams. See, I think back to early on in my career, I actually started walking wire at the age of 2, 240 years in my family history. My mom was walking wire when she was 6 months pregnant with me. So to be honest with you, this was just my life. I didn't know anything else. And I remember growing up in this industry, traveling around the world with my parents as they performed in the circus, and often hearing them discuss the financial problems that they were facing. My great-grandfather wrote a book in the 70s before I was born. In that book, he said, in the circus world, one day you eat the chicken and the next day you might have to eat its feathers. We all know the story of starving artists. My mom wrote a book in the 80s called The Last of the Wallendas. She didn't think there was a future in our industry. And I grew up with that knowledge, and through my teenage years, I really struggled. See, I loved performing. I loved walking on the wire. Again, it's really all I knew. But I thought I was going to have to give it all up. I was reading a statistic the day before yesterday, and I was actually shocked by it. It said that 85% of Americans are not happy with the job that they do every single day. It was staggering to me. I knew that a lot of people were not happy at work, but 85%. See, through my teenage years and my early adulthood, I ended up having to get a job at a restaurant. And as I worked at that restaurant, I was pursuing contracts to hopefully continue on this legacy. And in the end, what I believe was my calling. It seemed like every contract that I was negotiating would fall through over and over again. I remember there was a pivotal point in my life where I was at work, we were slammed, it was busy, and I thought about my performing career, and I was over it, I was done. And there's something inside of me that said, just give it one more shot. Don't give up on your dreams. See, I think the reason why so many people are miserable at work is because they've given up on their calling. I think we all have these desires that are placed in our hearts through our youth and our early adulthood and throughout our lives, and they're there for a reason. That's what drives us. And so many people, because of the challenges they face, they give up on them. See, I worked at that restaurant for 7 years. It wasn't my dream job. But every day I went to work, I smiled and I did what I did with integrity. See, I believe everything I do is an example of my Father, my God, my Lord and Savior. So I do everything I can with dignity, even when I'm not necessarily happy doing it. But I didn't give up on my dreams like so many others have. I continued to pursue them, and I'm so happy that I did. Because I can tell you this much, I've been blessed beyond more than I could ever ask or imagine. See, if I would have given up on my dreams, I wouldn't have 14 Guinness World Records. I wouldn't have had 5 national and a couple worldwide TV specials. I'm blessed with the highest rated live TV show in the history of the largest TV network in the world. I've won TV Personality of the Year. I've won Emmys. I've been on the front page of Time Magazine and Life Magazine and Sports Illustrated, places I would have never dreamt even that I could have gone if I would have just given up. See, our family does what we do to inspire you guys to pick back up on your dreams, continue to pursue your dreams, no matter what challenges you're facing. When I think of a challenge, I think of my walk over Niagara Falls. See, what people don't realize is that there were several other wire walkers that walked over the gorge, about a kilometer downstream of the actual falls, over 150 years ago, but no one had ever walked directly over the precipice of the falls. And that was my dream. Another thing people don't realize is in order to get permission to do that walk, it required changing 2 laws. One in the United States and one in Canada that was over 100 years old that said no stunting because of all of those that were losing their lives hundreds of years ago attempting to do stunts over the falls. And I remember throughout that process of trying to change those laws, many times going to different political officials on either side of the border, and more often than not, I would leave a meeting feeling defeated as a politician told me that I was crazy to dream of something else, that it wasn't a reality. There was no way I was going to change that law. The funny thing is, it wasn't about the walk that I was going to do that made me crazy. It was the fact that they were saying I was crazy that I thought I was going to change the law in the United States and then go over to Canada and do the same. But every time that I got discouraged, there was someone in my life that I was there that believed in me. See, I think so often we lose belief in our own dreams. And it's important that we have somebody that surrounds us that believes in our dreams as well. And for me, that's my wife. And she's about to join me on the wire right now. So without further ado, let's give her a big round of applause. My wife shares the same passions that I do. See, on her mom's side, they own the third oldest circus in Australia. And on her father's side, they hail from Mexico, and they're the first to ever complete the quadruple somersault on the flying trapeze. And early on in our careers and in our marriage, my wife put a lot of her dreams on the back burner as she helped raise our 3 beautiful children. It's hard for me to believe, but we actually have a 25-year-old son who just graduated from college. He's also a U.S. Marine. We also have a 22-year-old son who's currently serving in the U.S. Army. He's based over in Belgium. We have a beautiful 20-year-old daughter who's actually visiting from nursing school. She's helping sell merchandise after our shows this summer, but she was also proposed to just 10 days ago here in Branson, Missouri. And that means she's almost off the payroll. As you can tell from our boys, we are certainly patriots and we love this country. I have had the honor and blessing of performing all across the globe. And I can assure you guys who have not had those opportunities that we live in the greatest country in the world. And we want to just take a moment. We want to take a moment to thank anyone and everyone who has served in our armed forces or is currently serving. We truly appreciate the sacrifices that you and your families are making for our freedoms. So my wife has sort of started to get back at me for having to put her dreams on the back burner and raise our kids when they were younger. See, about 12 years ago, we were filming a TV series for the Discovery Channel. And we filmed one episode right here at Silver Dollar City where I broke a world record by hanging under a helicopter 150 feet above Echo Hollow with no safety devices by nothing but my teeth. My wife broke that world record, doggone it. Yeah. When she hung by her teeth over 300 feet above Niagara Falls. And then she smashed that world record during my latest TV special on ABC a couple years ago, where she hung by her teeth over 2,000 feet above an active volcano. Girl power. She currently holds 2 Guinness World Records, which is pretty awesome. But I own 14, so she better have some catching up to do, doesn't she? No, but in all seriousness, she has been a huge blessing in my life. She has been an incredible role model to people around the world. And I am so thankful for all the gifts and talents that she has and that she's willing to share them. In fact, another thing is she makes all of our costumes, and she's amazing at what she does. So thank you. Thank you for the sacrifices that you've made. I love you. You make me look good sometimes. So it's Sunday morning, and I feel like doing something a little different than I normally do. So is it all right if we turn the house lights on and I answer some questions from you guys up here on the wire? Does that sound like a good idea? I know you guys are going to be shy in the beginning, but if you guys have a question, raise your hand, and I will do my best to answer it. Yes, sir.